let's just settle into a seated, comfortable seated posture. The feet flat on the floor and just really trying to feel the toe mounds, the pinky mound on the soles of the feet, the heels, and the outer the outer edge of the foot. And take a nice deep breath, shoulders aligned with the hips, and just lengthen your spine. So really imagine it sort of somebody who's just got his piece of string in the middle of the crown of your head and it's just lengthening. And breathe. And then just bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the back of the head, the neck, the shoulders, and allow the shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat, the chest, and the belly, and all of your limbs. Notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. And notice if there are sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there, trying not to follow them with the mind. And then just notice what's arising in the mind. And always, as usual, just remembering that however it is you're turning up this evening, it's completely fine. It's just where we're all at. We're just at where we're at. That's all we can say about that. So if I have some, the same kind of acceptance and love that you would have for a dear friend, you can turn that towards yourself. Have that same kind of acceptance and love, compassion towards yourself. And just notice what thoughts are arising. Just allow them to be there and look at them objectively. And then, of course, all the people of our life, our loved ones, the ones we aren't so keen on, and then our strangers, remembering they can all change place at any time. Remembering they're all equal and they wish to be happy and they wish to be free from suffering. So I think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and keeping in mind our Geshe Dadal. I mean, he's passed now for a long time, but we've only just found out about it for sure, his passing. And then precious Hin and anyone else in your mind, just motivate to do this practice for them. You can also imagine that they're here with us. So just remembering there is no negativity that can't be purified, and this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can create positivity instead. We regret sincerely, this is the first of the 4 opponent powers, from the depths of our heart, anything we have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of any future sufferings that we will experience. We know from our present suffering, we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And we can also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. We turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing Buddha to forgive us, we're purifying ourselves by relying upon Buddha's methods. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine he's your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. He's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. Has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents a union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So then we think about developing compassion. And we need to rely upon other beings in order to develop compassion. So the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us. So bring to mind someone who maybe you harmed in the past, and then maybe bring to mind people who have harmed you. And just make a wish to do this practice for all these beings, particularly the ones who have harmed you, because the harm they've caused you will manifest as suffering for them sometime down the track, sometime in the future. So we start again with the actual practice. The medicine is the power of the remedy. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. It arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa, Sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tatagata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahompe, and Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida meboa, Sitokaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa, Sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahompe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida meboa Sitokaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahompe and Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida meboa Sitokaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahompe and Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida meboa Sitokaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anurakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambhadra Sapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So then be delightful that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body. Except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying, talking about people behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you, all are inappropriate speech. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dina Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dina Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And the next is the purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So again, when the moment you walk into a room, it's dark, you switch on the light, and the light dispels the darkness in the room. So the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind. So all your attachment, neediness, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, anxiety, depression, all of this instantly dispelled. Not one atom left. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the cause of all of our own suffering, why we harm others, imagine they're all finished, all gone, and there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. It fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satva ahompe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita. Dida mebowa, sitokaya mebowa, sipokaya mebowa, anarakta mebowa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriam Kuruhum ha ha ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva Ahompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Situkaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anurakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuruhum ha ha ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva Ahom. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. This is where we make a decision, a determination to refrain from harming. And first, rejoice in your incredible efforts. Sometimes it's just enough to show up. So that in itself is amazing, that you've carved out this very precious 30 minutes in your lives. And everyone's seems to have pretty busy lives, children, grandchildren, careers, this and that, work, whatever. So just rejoice in your own effort and everybody else's efforts to come along despite everything that's going on in your lives. And then just think, that you want to refrain from something that's harmful to yourself or others. And it becomes like a guardrail, a wish, an aspiration. And so think about something you would like particularly to work on. Maybe you're very critical towards yourself or others. So maybe you can just notice when those critical thoughts start to arise. Is there another way I could think right now other than this way? So we're just constantly catching ourselves, being aware of our stories, noticing it when we kind of run away with our own stories, just kind of reeling ourselves in. This is very similar to the process that you undergo when you start to develop mindfulness. We need to be mindful to watch what's going on in the mind. And this determination to not do again gives us a bit of encouragement, a bit of strength to change. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, melts into light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And next, Rinpoche would talk about sealing the practice with emptiness. So it was sort of just thinking a little bit about emptiness at the end of the practice helps in case there's any anger or distrust of your own teachers that may arise. And, sealing the practice with emptiness apparently helps to circumvent that. So you think, and this is according also to your own level and to what you've learned about what emptiness actually is. So you think there is no I, the creating negative karma, there is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So place your mind there for a moment. You can think of all phenomena as being empty. They don't exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just, we can just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created doing this practice to all living beings, particularly for Geshe Dadal, for Hin, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And so if any of you have His Holiness the Dalai Lama as a teacher, so a strong wish for His Holiness to live long, And then for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche's unmistaken reincarnation. Apparently there are thousands of monks right now at Bodhgaya Stupa doing prayers for Rinpoche's swift return. And then also for your own individual teachers. Okay. Good night, everybody. Lots of love. I might see some of you tomorrow at some point, and I look forward to it if I do. Take care. And those of you doing a retreat, enjoy. Enjoy your retreat.